What made the popular guy-girl lose their popularity? This one popular girl in HS got so drunk at a party that she just started shitting herself everywhere. Some friends drove her home and she did it again in the back seat. Not easily forgotten. But it was one of those things no one would say anything about, it's just that the entire school knew by Monday afternoon. Making fun of somebody's dad when they were diagnosed with cancer, that's going to drop your approval ratings somewhat. He made fun of some girl's dead father, drug overdose. The other popular kids confronted him about how fucked up that was and he lost all of his popularity. He whipped his dick out during class and put it on the shoulder of the girl who was sitting in the desk in front of him. He got kicked out immediately and I believe charges pressed for sexual assault. We were a couple of weeks from graduating too. This was in elementary school. She peed her pants at recess. Then her mom came to the school with a change of clothes but was livid about the accident. Gave her a very loud spanking in the bathroom which everyone heard. Then made her wear a diaper. I guess she wet the bed pretty often. I'm pretty sure her mom was intentionally humiliating her as a messed up punishment. This was in the 80s in rural Alabama. Things were and still are different there. A guy was bragging for like a solid week about how he slept with like 3 girls at the school. Turns out 2 of them got pregnant. That was really bad luck, but that wasn't what made him unpopular. What made him unpopular was that one of the pregnant girls was known as the innocent religious girl and genuinely wanted to wait until marriage before having sex. Her friends started questioning why she changed her standards so suddenly. Turns out she was raped. He was a new kid but due to his looks, parents' wealth, and sports aptitude he quickly became popular. Then he made the mistake of bullying a harmless kid who was on the spectrum and was basically the football team's lucky charm. They did not take kindly to that and he went from being the next big thing to being that kid no one wanted to talk to and he had to basically bribe people to keep them around. I went to the same school as the kids of the Prime Minister of my country at the time. I didn't know the daughter too well but apparently she went from being popular to being bullied out of the school when her dad lost the election. It was pretty sad that people starting hating on her for something she had no control over. She was raped, and became incredibly withdrawn. Instead of getting her help, or alerting the adults, everyone just sort of dropped her. Not being a cool kid, I learned about what actually happened years later, unfortunately. Word got out that this kid stole from his grandparents for drug money. He pulled a gun on some football players trying to rape a middle school girl. The football players ended up going to prison. Students, teachers, and parents made his life a living hell because he ruined the school's chance to make it to the state football championship. Throwing shit in the hall on people's lockers. We had 2 or 3 over the 4 years get pregnant. They no longer went to all the parties with a kid to look after. Becoming the small fish at university. Popular girl was driving drunk on the way to school. And caused a pretty bad accident involving 3 other cars. She spilled liquor on herself and slammed on her brakes in a line of cars. Her car managed not to have a scratch. She swapped seats with her passenger in front of everyone, before cops arrive. A few minutes later we realize she has disappeared. She had slipped into another car that had stopped to see if everyone was okay. Several people ended up getting tickets and her passenger ended up getting a Dewey. She was unpopular until graduation. A popular boy cried in class during a discussion about a recent tragedy because someone that was close to him died in said tragedy. He got relentlessly bullied for the short time afterward that he was at that school. He was a good kid that didn't deserve any of that. I really hate middle school kids sometimes. Her mom came to a school meeting and told everyone she suffers from mild autism. Word got out that the guy raped his girlfriend, and all of his popular friends tried to defend it. Just happened recently and it's still weird, since people either hate him or say he made a mistake. There was another guy who was more known than popular, and he just got booked in for raping a 12-year-old. This senior got suspended cause he fucked a freshman in the parking lot. I was somewhat part of that crowd and God, was there a lot of drama. One of the girls got shunned by practically our whole grade after it was revealed that she slept with the boyfriend of this other really well-liked girl. They were the it couple. She got lots of judgment about it, though somehow the guy got away with it without much issue. I almost felt bad for her. But then I didn't, because the year before she made the Spanish teacher cry by being so rude, and later in the year she was caught cheating in bio and pressuring this really smart girl to give her the answers. She wasn't exactly a good person. Guy wasn't exactly extremely popular to begin with, but was well known. He punched some girl at my school in the face for no reason at a concert. Shortly after this, there was news that he rolled his brand new Camaro going 95 in a 45. This caused him and another guy at our school a lot of injuries. His friend lost his entire ear in the accident. Oh, and this was right after they stole beer from Kroger. They were drunk driving. Anyways, people kept their distance after this. Another kid that comes to mind was someone very popular in our grade. One of my friends went over to his house and used his computer without his permission. My friend ended up finding terabytes of child porn on his PC. From what I heard, the FBI even got involved. He never was seen at school again after that. I was the popular girl. Developed full-blown schizophrenia my sophomore year of high school and had a spiral that rivaled a Hollywood movie. By the time I graduated, everyone knew me as the weird, crazy witch girl who talked to herself and had no friends. Now I'm out of high school, stable, on my meds, with people in my life who love me, and I haven't thought about popularity since. Life is wild. Kid made a video for a school project, which he played in front of the class. Project video ended and cut to him beating his meat. He was a freshman. He spent the remainder of HS known only as the cameraman. He was in my grade. We were seniors and it was the last few days of school. Him and some of his buddies, who were also popular but not nearly as much, decided to vandalize the school. At night they spray-painted dicks and stuff all over the outside of the place. They also sprayed the words "could have done worse" on the big entryway doors in the front. Well, they got caught. Their punishment? None of them graduated. They all had to repeat the year. Everyone thought they were idiots after that. According to one of my friends who was a grade younger, many people would say "could have done better" to them in passing. As soon as school ended, everyone stopped pretending to like her. She got pregnant and had to quit cheerleading. The football players didn't want her anymore and her popularity took a hit, plus the other girls were very judgmental. We found out he ducked a dog. He told us the dog licked him when he put peanut butter on his cock. Instantly couldn't look at him. He fucked a dog. They lost their place to a kind and warm-heated sweet girl with a very sunny and positive vibe. Suddenly everyone was around her and not around the popular kid, bully. Basically the students finally saw what they really needed. Tried to finger a girl at a party in front of everyone. She was a bit of a bitch. Pretty as a picture but dim as a dark room. Once people saw how she really was as a person, i.e. using her looks to get what she wanted and throwing a hissy fit once she didn't get it, caused people to lose interest real quick. I actually met her about a decade after we graduated and she was a completely different person. Really humble and gentle. Actually a lot more clever than she appeared. No idea what she's doing now. He had already lost a lot of popularity from going to state-mandated rehab once. Though the last straw was when he crashed and killed a girl before he made it out of his driveway only a couple months after he got out of mandatory rehab while driving drunk. Used to friends with the guy, but he had a downward spiral and last I heard is still in jail. Don't drink and drive, people. It's not just your life on the line when you make that decision. Two most popular people at my high school were dating. One day their friend posted a Snapchat story, they walked in on them and recorded the girl pegging the guy. I guess people just couldn't look at them the same. Left high school where popularity mattered. This person had been a compulsive liar to the point where nobody believed a single thing she said. Let's make a list real quick. 1. After her boyfriend had told his friends that he had sex with her, she spread the rumor that she was pregnant and started wearing really baggy clothes. 2. She said she drove to the Super Bowl, which at the time was in Texas, and made it back the next morning for school. We live in Michigan. 3. Said she kissed Tom Brady at said Super Bowl. 4. Started drama and rumors with every person in the school. Edit, I forgot to mention that she apparently had the kid and that her parents were taking care of it until she graduated. He farted in the middle of a exam and ended up shitting their pants. Tall, good-looking, foreign exchange student showed up one year with a killer smile and some impressive soccer skills. Never thought I'd see school girls giggle and follow around boys in a crowd like they do in TV shows, but this guy made it happen. He abruptly stopped showing up one day after a few months. Don't know 100% what happened, but the rumor was that he got sent back for putting some pretty serious racist symbols in a poetry, art project thinking it would be a funny joke. In high school, she was good at singing, so people became jealous of her. They'd say, "Sing for us, Christina," and if she sang, they'd say, "Look at her showing off, singing in the school hallways," and if she didn't sing, they'd say, "Look at her stuck-up ass, she thinks she's too good to sing for us." So eventually I think she got tutored her senior year and beyond. Oh, her last name was Aguilera. She got pregnant. He made varsity freshman year. Hung out with all the older kids and didn't give two shits about his friends our own age. 2 years later they all graduated, even his close friends saw through him trying to get back to being the popular kid. Edit, I should go ahead and mention, by the time we were seniors, he chilled out. Stopped being so full of himself and was a great student in athletes. We ended up getting along in the end, not exactly close, but that's because we played opposite sports. Every hockey player played soccer too. He and his good friends played basketball and football. It was a weird dynamic. Cheer during football season no one gave a shit about soccer, and every hockey season, no one cared about basketball. Member of National Honor Society got caught cheating on a final exam, senior year. Their father bribed the principal by donating a car to be used for school activities, so that they would graduate. Graduation day, every other member of NHS took off their rope before crossing the stage to accept their diploma. Girl in my class responded to his bullying with, "Oh yeah? Well, at least I don't have a bald spot." Poor science teacher, her lesson plan was derailed by a good 5–10 minutes of laughter. I was the popular kid. Developing schizophrenia tends to alter that. Bang a teacher and get pregnant. Sadly, they lost a fight. She started doing hardcore drugs. He sent unsolicited dick pics to a lot of girls in the school, except he was rocking a micro-penis and was wearing woman's lingerie he stole from his sister. Also asked to pee in a few girls' mouths. Ended up switching schools. I was popular in grade 9/10. I used to make jokes in class, skip, show up late, cared a lot about wearing name-brand clothing, and talking to everyone. I would even buy candy and share with all. My grades suffered a lot, barely passed thanks to the kindness of my teachers. Grade 11 and 12 I buckled down. Pretty much only talked about school work and spent more time with teachers after class. No more showing up late, skipping. I always hung out in the library at lunch to study too. I guess for me it was becoming a serious student. He was popular among the group of people he was associated with. I don't think he was super popular or anything. Punk, grunge kid. All his popularity went out the window when he went out the window of his car, after he crashed it into a building because he was huffing paint and speeding down the road with one of the group's popular girls. Thankfully she survived, but from what I recall he wasn't remembered so fondly after that. She dated me. We were both in speech and debate, both did impromptu. We spent a ton of time giving each other practice topics, and it devolved to funny crap we just wanted to see the other spitball a 5-minute speech on. Dated for 2.5 days until her popular friends found out. She dumped me on the spot, but the damage to her credibility had been done. Thing is though, she then lost all of her nerdy friends too because she dumped me. It was a lose-lose situation for her.